Hi, this is Julia M. Spencer, real estate advisor, investor, and enthusiast. And today I want to talk a little bit about due diligence. Due diligence is something that you have to do before you buy any kind of foreclosure, be it a tax lien foreclosure, tax deed foreclosure, a bank-owned foreclosure, or a short sale. Any properties like that, they will always tell you have due diligence period where you can examine the property to see if it's something that you really want to spend a lot of money on. Now, there's also even actually a due diligence period when you are purchasing a home from a realtor. There's you have usually when you sign a contract to buy a house, there will be a 7 or 10 day time frame where you can send an inspector to the property and check it out and make sure that everything is functioning in the property, or that it's structurally sound, or that there isn't any major glaring damage that you need to be aware of before you purchase the property. Of course, you're a little bit more secured when you go through a realtor and have a normal sale transaction. You have that period. If you buy tax lien foreclosures, which is what I mostly do and what other people that I know mostly do, then you sometimes don't have access to that property. But due diligence isn't just having access to the property. There's actually 10 steps that you can follow in order to make sure that you perform your due diligence work prior to bidding on a property. One of the first things that you need to do is do a title search or a title review. Now, when you do this over a while, you're going to be able to spot easily if there's any kind of errors in the title. If there's any kind of encumbrances, if there's any liens against the property, maybe the city had to come in and cut the grass because it was overgrown and people were complaining. Now there's a monetary lien against the property, or a contractor redid a roof but was not paid, so you put a contractor's lien against the property. It could be an IRS lien. It could be a number of things that encumber that particular title or have put claim to that title because they weren't paid for one reason or another, or the owner has defaulted on one loan or another. So this is the kind of thing that you'll be able to find when you do title research. Now, real estate attorneys have people that are specially qualified and trained to do title searches. However, you can also, with time, learn how to do this yourself. Most places, most counties in the United States have this information online. You can look through it, you can search through it. You're going to be able, after a while, spot what you're looking at. More information on how to look at titles can be found at my website. It's www.juliamspencer.com. You can also ask me specific questions if you see something you don't understand, and I can ask the experts or give you my expertise on it. But the title search is very important, and it's something that you definitely need to do prior to purchasing a property. Now, most people will tell you need to inspect the property also. This is point number 2. Inspection of the property obviously isn't always possible, especially if it's a foreclosure and it's still occupied. You can't just, walk in there and ask the people to show you their house. They're going to be less than willing, and you aren't even allowed on the property at that point. So I wouldn't risk that. However, sometimes you're going to be able to access the property, especially if it's a bank-owned foreclosure and it's listed with a realtor or a short sale, and the original occupants have to have agreed to a clause to let their property be inspected while it's going through the sale process. Or at times, and I do not recommend this because this is just my opinion, if you have a vacant property and it looks like it's been deserted and vacant for a long time, it does not hurt to drive to the property, maybe not to go inside or break in or anything, but have a look around and see, look at the yard, look at the neighbors, look at the neighborhood, check to see if there's any vacant houses in the area, and basically do your due diligence, put some eyes on the property. Do not buy blindly, because I've seen where counties have sold tax lien foreclosures where there is supposed to have been a house and it was taxed according to a house being there, so a lot with improvement. But indeed, the property had actually burned down some while back, and the tax records just have not been updated. And you're basically buying a lot, and on top of that, one that probably has to be cleared and is expensive to clear, and so you don't want to go into that trouble, unless you really want that lot, obviously, but you want to know what you're buying in any case. Also, I would recommend, well, as I already mentioned, go as a third point, always look at the surrounding neighborhood. It's always good to find out where this property is. I've gotten to the point that when I get a list like this, a tax lien foreclosure list, I kind of already know which areas I'm looking to buy, and I'm not going to go into areas where I'm not interested in buying, where I don't even want to drive because maybe it's a sketchy neighborhood that's kind of scary to even drive through, or I'd be, afraid something will happen to me or my car. So I look at the neighborhood, I look at the houses right next to it. This is very easy to do these days in the online world. You can go to Google Maps. There'll be street views. There'll be photographs of the neighbors across the street, what's in the neighborhood. So you can pre-do that before you actually go to the neighborhood. And if it looks like something that's interesting to you, then you go drive there and examine that area. Now, another thing that people will tell you that's part of due diligence is examine recent sales activity. So sales in the area, how much have houses went for in that area? Is the trend going up or down? That's very important. You can get that information on Zillow, on Trulia, on any of those websites out there that post that kind of information. Also, a realtor can give you that information easily, or basically run you a report of what the area actually goes for. In addition, part of due diligence is to review price trends. Now, these are all due diligence recommendations. This is the fifth one that I'm giving you with this short video that are applicable if you're planning to actually keep a foreclosure. If you're buying it to keep, to make it a rental, make it your own property, or do whatever it is that you want to do with it. Now, if you're purely an investor and you want to just dump the money into tax lien foreclosure in order to get that premium, the 20% premium, then you might not be as interested in the sales information. However, that's still good information to have to see whether this property is actually valuable to the person that it belongs to, and whether they're willing to pay you off that 20% premium to get their property back. So sales data is very important. It's my fifth point for due diligence for this particular video. And for additional 5 points, go to the next video in the series. Also go to my website. It's www.juliamspencer.com. Download your free guide to real estate investing, and I hope to see you investing soon. Have a great day.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.